planners and bullet journals, art projects, organized planner chic.
Well, hello! I welcome you to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and this is my day 2 drawing for Inktober 2018. So I am starting off sketching with a sepia colored pen from Micron. And if you saw my first video in this series, I decided that I was going to use a ruler for like straight lines. But then when I got ready to, because I didn't do it in the first video and I had some lines that weren't straight. But then when I got ready to do this one, I thought, no, that just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel natural for me, and I'm nothing against it, but I really wanted to force myself to take time and just fix lines. Like if I draw something and it's crooked, just draw another line and sketch like I would with a pencil, but make those lines work, because real three-dimensional things have multiple lines and angles and everything's not perfectly straight, and just work with it. So that's what I did. It took a long time because it seems I don't have the best eyesight, and so it seems that I tend to draw everything crooked initially, and I have to hold it up to myself, which I do repeatedly in this video. And even at one point I turned the filming off and held it up really close so I could kind of see if things needed to be straightened a little more. But it was really relaxing to take my time and just sketch and work on it and get the details to kind of straighten out and make sense to where I felt comfortable with what I was creating. And so I'm glad that I did that. You'll see me adding more lines over and over. This needs to be a little straighter. This needs to be a little straighter. And so here I'm drawing this little church on concrete blocks, because when I was growing up, we would go to visit my grandparents in Louisiana. They lived out in the country, and their home was on top of some concrete blocks, and even the dogs lived under the house between these blocks. And so I wanted this setting to be like a church. The word for this day is Tranquil. And so I want it to be like a church out in the country, kind of in the middle of nowhere, where you have to park your car down at the bottom of the hill and then you walk up to the church. And so I put the church on the concrete blocks, and that just brings back a lot of memories. And so here I'm taking my time and adding some detail on the tree so it kind of looks like it's bark around it. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice again. I'm filming early in the morning during this series, and so I'm just adding some of those details to try to make the tree look a little more realistic. And then for some reason I thought that I would make this walkway a pebbled one, which takes a super long time to draw all those little pebbles. And you see I stopped filming at one point and just showed you where they're filled in because it was taking forever and I didn't want this video to last forever. And so here I'm drawing a little sign, and I think that's what I'm going to do every day, is have the word, the prompt for 2018 from Inktober.com included in my sketch. And so here I wish I had thought of how I could have used my inks from Jane Davenport, the mermaid markers. I could have used my inks on this tree. I just didn't want it to be too dark. The wood, I wanted the lines from the tree to show up, but I could have just used my brown marker that's filled with ink to do that, and just used a paper towel or napkin or something to dab it so that it would be lighter. But I didn't think about that till later. So I am using a zebra mild liner highlighter to color in the bark for this tree right here. But then I think after I finished coloring that in, then I used the mermaid marker to fill in that hole in the tree, and so that'll come up here in just a second. Are you guys participating in Inktober this year? If you are, please let me know in the comments below on how it's going so far. This video, let's see, this is day 2 that I did this, but I wasn't able to finish edit and upload until the 3rd day. So I've decided to accept that, and some days I might have to edit and upload in groupings of 2 or 3, but I am trying to stay committed to doing the the drawings every day. And I realized this is a huge commitment. It's my first time doing 31 days every day of the exact same thing as best I can. So I'm trying not to let it interfere with the rest of my life and do my drawings in the mornings and allow myself time to do the edits and upload, because my Wi-Fi is not very fast here. I mean, it's not the slowest, but when it comes to uploading, it takes a long time to upload my videos. And so I'm just accepting that some days, again, I won't be able to upload. I'll just have to do it in groupings and be okay with that and post on social media whenever those groupings are ready. I mean, that's just life, and I can't let it stress me out. And like I said, I definitely want to keep up with the rest of my responsibilities. And also on this day, I didn't get to start until I think around noon, but I was ready to, was it noon? No, it might have been a little bit later than that. And so I was getting everything ready to upload and forgot that I had a meeting at church, and that meeting's 2 hours, was 2 hours long. And then I was so tired afterwards. And it took me like 2 hours to do this sketch, I think. Well, to do everything, to sketch it and color it, to do all of that stuff I was doing to kind of straighten out my art. And so, yeah, it takes a long time. So I need to make sure I'm prepared for what all I have to do that day. Not that every drawing is going to take that long, but to prepare for what else I have going on. So here I'm using all of my inks from Jane Davenport and the mermaid markers. And here, I think it's right there where it spilled over. Oh, and I was like, no! Because the ink is so highly pigmented, you can't quite fix it if you're trying to have a detailed drawing like that. You really need to have, I think it works better if you have things that have room to flow. Yeah, so, and so I tried later on to fix that, but I decided I'm not going to stress. I did try to fix it multiple times. You'll see that in a moment. But I did decide in the end not to stress about it. It is what it is. And maybe one day this will be like the famous Lucinda drawing that has the mistake that everyone wants, and it's worth $1 million now. And yay! You know, a girl can dream. You never know. That might actually happen one day. And I think, yeah, on this sign, so at the top, you know, it's brown, and here I'm coloring in some grass, and it bled through at the top of that sign on here too. But I was, for some reason, fine with that. I think maybe because I thought, oh, it kind of has a mossy look, and that's cool. I'm good with that. I won't stress, not that I can really fix it anyway. So the thing to learn or remember, because I knew this, but I forget because I haven't worked with ink in so long, that you really have to make sure that you let it dry before you use ink around it, because it will spread like wildflower. Gosh, that's not the right word. Like wildfire. Okay. And so, like, it's spreading a little bit around the tree, and it's spreading a little bit around that cobbled sidewalk, but that's good. I was good with that. I think it gives it more of a natural look anyway. It probably needed to be there so that, sorry, my phone just dinged, so that it kind of can be grass that's growing around the tree and grass that's growing over the sidewalk. So that was fine. And so here I am coloring that background sky, just dabbing it with a napkin to help it look more natural, a lighter tone, but different tones kind of mixed in, like the way light really is naturally. And I'm really happy with how that's turning out right there. So yeah, so if you are participating in Inktober, you know, what are some of your challenges so far, and what are you, how are you strategizing going forward? Let me know in the comments below. And also, if you saw at the beginning of this video, I have everything for Inktober in a traveler's notebook, and that was in my first video, showing how I was planning with my calendar and the pages I'm using and the paper, which this is mixed media paper, which is working out really, really well, except that those alcohol markers did bleed through, which was the gray, but I hadn't originally planned on using alcohol markers, so you know, that is what it is. But I don't think I'm going to change the paper. I do like the paper that I'm using, which is a higher quality mixed media paper by Canson. It's not the lower quality. It's a higher one that's like about twice the price. And I'm really glad I bought it because it's been a great investment. And so I'm just going back over with this, I think, well, different things here. And I'm trying to put, yeah, it showed up really well, trying to put the doorknobs, or make the doorknobs stand out better with that white jelly roll. And trying to make that spill fixed. All right, well, that is the final drawing. I hope you guys liked it. If you do like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. All my subscribers get an additional discount from my Organized Planner Chic Etsy shop, and that discount is in the comments below. There's a new one every month. And I have a Facebook group, Organized Planner Chic Crew, where you get a free coloring page, and you also get giveaways. And thank you guys for watching. Happy planning.